Hey YouTube, how's it going? Before I get started with this video, I want to give a few shout outs to some people who have been helping my YouTube channel along the way. You know, getting me featured, getting a little more views on my plate. So I want to give a shout out to Zach Gaming, Gamers1432, Easy Searchables, and Crouch Dance Community. Crouch Dance Community was nice enough to give me some music to work with, so I want to thank those people personally. And also I want to thank a couple of other people who might have YouTube channels that I helped out. Scourge gave me permission to use some of his music, so that's pretty cool. And also Noise Storm, he gave me some permission. I'm currently trying to get permission from other people, so if you make music and you want to see them in my videos, go ahead and send me a message. I would definitely love to use them. I'll use anything from rock to dubstep. I mean, I use tons of stuff. So I'm definitely looking for music to use out there, so if you have anything, send it my way. You have to own it, by the way. I'm not going to use stuff that you don't own because I'll get a copyright strike. YouTube is very, very hard on that stuff. So thanks again for those people who have been helping me out, and let's get to the video. Alright everybody, this video is about exposing yourself. That sounds dangerous, doesn't it? But it's not dangerous. In fact, it can help you. It can make your life much easier. It can make you find stuff that you never thought you would enjoy. And I'm about to explain what that means. I have a few friends in my life that I like to hang out with all the time. I've got quite a few of them. I've got pretty weird ones in the scheme of things, I guess you could say. I've got one who's Dutch and is addicted to cartoons, some of which might be questionable in content. I know two Hispanic people who don't seem to understand really anything about arguing. And then I have a midget black guy who I hang out with on Xbox Live all the time, and he's kind of whacked out as well. But as you can see, I hang out with some weird people, quite a weird crowd. And two of which are going to be the topic of discussion in this video. I'm actually going to make another video talking about stuff that they've done in the past regarding arguments. It's going to be a video on how to properly argue, and also debating and how that fits in. But that's not for this video right now. This video is about exposing yourself to things that you don't think you would like. Oh, I'm sorry about bumping the camera. I did not mean that. Working in kind of a closed space right now. So, exposing yourself. What that means is basically going out and watching stuff, reading stuff, playing games, whatever, whenever it concerns something that you previously didn't think that you would be interested in. For instance, back when I started watching a lot of YouTube stuff, I was a little more careful with what I watched. I didn't want to watch things that I thought would change my political opinion. I didn't want to watch anything edgy. And throughout my life, I have grown a tolerance to pretty much everything. Pretty much everything, and I mean everything. I will watch anything and everything that I can get my hands on, no matter what the cost might be. If it's not time consuming, and if it's not immediately something I obviously am not interested in, as far as, you know, something I've already watched, for instance, something like that. But anything that's right there on my plate that I have time to watch, that I'm interested in at that point in time, I will watch. And even if it could change my views, even if it could change my political views, even if it could change my views on life, even if it might be, you know, questionable. So, why are some people so cloistered? Why do they not want to watch certain things just because they think they might not agree with it? Why do they not want to watch things because they don't agree with the genre? They don't want to watch things that they think, based on the overlying theme of it, they don't want to watch. It just baffles me. When it comes to a movie that you have read a ton of reviews on, you've done a lot of research on, and based on what people have said about it, you make the decision not to watch it, that is understandable. But when it comes to a movie, you have only seen the preview for the movie, and you decide, it's action, so I'm not gonna watch it. Well, that's fine and dandy, but to me that kind of seems a little, like I said, cloistered. I don't think you should necessarily negate something simply because it is action. There are good action movies that follow a decent plot that aren't your typical action movie. They're not Like the things people are putting out now, for instance, the Expendables, they're not just action, they're other things as well mixed in. For instance, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that was a fantastic action movie, but it also had a lot of story to it. So it's a little strange to me when people cloister themselves from something just because of its overlying theme, and also because they think it might change their views. I'm going to give you an example as far as changing your views go. Back whenever Amazing Atheist was getting started, about 2007, I guess I want to say, whenever he was getting a little more popular than he started out as, I guess it was late 2007, I probably would not have watched his videos. I would not have watched it. I would have took a look at the first video and I would have said, that guy I don't agree with, I'm not gonna watch his stuff. He's edgy, he's annoying, he's talking about stuff I'm not interested in, whatever. I would have shied away from it. Today, about 2009, I guess, was when I started watching him. Maybe it was 2010, I can't remember. I was ready to watch what he had to say, and that was the first time I ever, saw him. So luckily, I was able to get interested in The Amazing Atheist because by then I was willing to watch him. But if I had been exposed to him in 2007, I probably would have never gone back. And that kind of would have sucked because I've laughed at a lot of his videos. A lot of his videos are funny, a lot of his videos are catchy, they're edgy, they're interesting, they're just interesting to watch. So it would have been a shame if I, at an early age, had shied away from it and never come back. So whenever I see a couple of my friends say, well, I don't want to watch this movie because it just seems like an action movie to me, it just makes me stop and wonder, what if they had watched that movie and it had turned out like The Amazing Atheist? What if they had watched it and they just got hooked on the movie and they wanted to watch the next one that comes out and the next one that comes out, and they wanted to read the books, they wanted to play the video game? What if that happened? And that's what kind of irks me whenever people say, I don't want to watch that movie, it's action. Or, I don't want to watch that movie, it's about oppression. There's too many movies about oppression. Or something like that, some overlying theme. Now, I'm not sure if I have this right. There's probably a fine line, I guess, between something you shouldn't shy away from and something you should. For instance, I can understand if you see a movie and you've seen the trailer and you've looked up reviews on it and you know the plot, you know what the movie's about, and you make the conscious decision, I'm not going to watch that movie. It doesn't seem like I would be interested in it. I don't have the 2 hours to waste. Whatever. That I understand. I understand in some instances you're not going to want to watch a movie because you honestly, legitimately probably won't like it. That makes sense to me. But I just gotta caution you. You should expose yourself to things if you have the time. If you have the time, you should expose yourself to things that you probably, might not agree with. Because changing your mind isn't something that is necessarily bad, okay? If you honestly believe you're an individual and you can trust yourself to make a good value judgment, to make a good decision on how you're going to formulate your beliefs, if you're going to make all the decisions in your life and take control of what it is you think, what it is you go after, then you should trust yourself to watch something that is controversial. You should trust yourself to watch something that could change your mind. Because if it does change your mind, it should be for the better, right? If you're making the decision, if you're independent, then if you change your mind, it will be better. Is that not correct? Or could it be that you're flawed and something could force you to change your mind? I tend to believe away from that. I tend to believe that people choose things based on their own habits and their own way of life, I guess you could say. Their own mind. So I think when you watch stuff, you are going to change for the better. 98% of the time. If you're one of those people that are easily manipulated, easily changed, easily shifted just by watching some obscene image or something like that, then Maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to everything. Maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. But I tend to think the majority of the population should work to expose themselves to as many things as they can. Because the more you expose yourself to, the more you will have up here to make decisions on and to base your life on. So it's just a general good idea to expose yourself. You're home alone on a Friday, you're eating pizza, you've got nothing to do. Watch a movie, read a book, do something, and expose yourself to stuff that you haven't been exposed to before. Don't keep exposing yourself to the same thing. That's boring. And then you'll never change. And I don't see why you wouldn't want to change. Who wants to be the same forever? So, here's my challenge to you. Take a book, a DVD, Netflix, a game, something like that. Take some form of media and expose yourself to it. Expose yourself to it, watch it, play it, read it, whatever. Once you're done exposing yourself to that object, report back to me down below in the comments how it went. What you thought of it, what it is you exposed yourself to, if it made you think, if it made you change your mind about anything, and let's create a little log of how this goes. Because I just really think exposing yourself to things is very good. Music, you can expose yourself to that as well. That's a good idea. Can't really think of anything else, but yeah, music, movies, games, books, comics, magazines. Expose yourself to anything, experiences even, but generally I'm talking about media here. You should expose yourself to as much things as possible. That way you can make a judgment. You can't make judgments if you don't have information, and you need information to make judgments. So, get information. Watch, game, whatever. Anyways, I'm Xylogeist, and I'm signing off. Peace.